welcome to another video. I'm doing the Highland Cow today in watercolour, just sort of loose, splashy style. These are the colours I'm using, so mauve, cadmium yellow, burnt sienna and sepia. They're all Winsor & Newton cotton range. You could use whatever brush you've got. Just going to wet it. You can spray actually if you want. I've got just a garden spray, plant spray, if you want it really wet quickly. Now where to start? I tend to just slap colours on, looking at areas. So here's quite a light area and here, so I'd probably avoid putting a dark colour here, and here's quite pink, so that mauve will come in nice for there. So your first stage is just going to look a mess. Don't feel like it doesn't look like anything. I'm just dotting these mauve colours around so it's not just isolated there. Burnt sienna. So again, thinking about that light section, I don't want to go too much paint on the light section where it's going to be light. Even though it's really wet, you know it's going to spread. I'm just going to go with that lovely sepia. It's a real dark brown. And just put some of the darkest bits in for now. I'm just going to dry that now. I'm just going in with the real darks and just loosely putting those in. There's a lovely dark under there which will be nice, just to give that nose a bit of push that forward. We can fizzle that out in a bit. You can use wacky colours if you want, blues or greens, it's up to you. So again, just looking in the darkest bits on the hair. We can do more hair using a fan brush later, but it's just to get those real darks in. Just getting that sort of swoosh of hair without being too fiddly. So I'm just going to go. I will add some water, and I mean this is wet on to dry, so I will blend some of this. Burnt umber. Adding bits of water here and there just to break up the lines, so it's soft line, hard line. That all adds interest. And then just blend this out because this is the body of the cow sort of coming in. Let's go quite bright with these section. That's a lovely colour. So I'm just sort of picking out the mid-tone. Can you see it's slightly darker there than it is here? So that's the colours that I'm trying to replicate in here as well. The lightest tones are here, which you need your paper for. If you feel like you need to dry it in between stages, then do. And again, using the edge of that flat brush, or any brush you prefer using. And just keep building up the layers really, trying to get the form, the structure of the animal. I think I'll just add in a little bit of that colour. Like a mid-tone on the horns. So it's starting to take shape. Just going to add a little bit of that yellow actually, because that's a really nice addition, like a goldeny colour. Just bringing that in. I've sort of lost his eye. I feel like I need to indicate that a little bit more. It's not, you can't really see it totally. It's sort of suggesting a dark area there. So you can just see my pencil mark there. Now that looks a bit sort of standing alone. I think I need to change brushes now. I'm going to go with a fan brush. Now I don't want to go too much. I'll probably only use a third of this brush. There's some more bits coming in. I still feel like I want to exaggerate some bits, so I'm just going to go in with a rigger brush. I'm getting a little bit more fiddly with the rigger, but I'm just looking to see all these sort of sections. See, bringing that dark in really lifts it, lifts the lights, gives that definition. And I feel like I need to do a bit of work on that nose, so I'm just going to mix some sepia with that mauve. That's quite watery, so I want it dark, so I just added a more concentrated bit there. That sepia is good for darkening. Now the nostrils are really quite dark. I'll give it some definition. Just added water there. Slightly lighter to the bottom of this. And there's a bit on the top actually. I'm just going to go in with that dark colour just to... Basically I'm painting the background here. And again, if you've got hard lines, you can just get a bit of water on your brush. Just disperse those. But that really makes that stand out, just giving that dark background. And I think I might do that with the horns, because even though you've got dark blue, which is darker, I don't really want to put a sky in. I don't want it to look like a scene. So I think I'll add in probably a bit of pink up here, just to bring forward a bit like what we've done here, the whiteness of the horn. So let's do that now. I might just grab a bit of that yellow. Yeah, that's quite a nice colour. I won't wet that yet because I need it hardline here. It's quite a brave move, but sometimes you need to be brave and bold. Again, just going to dab off that hard line there. Now because they're sort of sat up there, I think it needs that sort of colour bringing down behind here somewhere. Quite like that light bit, so I'm just going to leave that. That lovely contrast of light, horns, slightly darker background. Now I think I need to add some of that colour in somewhere else because it's sort of on its own now. So I'm just mix those two. Let's just dot it around, maybe down here. So it doesn't look just those, look like it's in those two areas. I'm going to go back with the rigger and just do some of the mouth, like a little bit there. And then slightly lighter there. And you've got some bits there. Don't forget, we're just suggesting in this style. If you want to go more precise, you can. So just keep looking and seeing what's there. Just water's good. I mean, that's just water on the brush, just pushing that paint up, dispersing it around a bit. I feel like there's too much of a contrast between that bit and that bit, so I'm just going to get my rigger and go in with my sepia and burnt sienna mix and just do like a few. Oh, that's bled into there, but that might be quite nice, happy accident. Right, I think I need to dry that now. Now his ear's sort of gone. You can see his ear there. So I'm just gonna put that back in. That's it, gives it a bit of width. I think we need to add in a little bit more dark under here because that's lightened too much. Let's just suggest some darker bits here. Now because I've done that, I do feel like I need some sort of shape. Sometimes it needs it. This is the gouache. Just, you can do all sorts of details. So you can get some of these lovely bits of hair in. You can mix it with any other colour as well if you want, if you feel white's a bit too harsh. Like up here, it's not as light as these bits, so I'm not going to go too far up against that eye there, so we don't want to go over that. So hair's always a bit tricky to do. Just look at it in lights and dark. Just imagine it's not hair. You're just looking at lights and shadows and sections rather than individuals. Just constantly looking, seeing what's where. Just gonna do these horns a bit more. I think some of that gouache hair is a little bit too harsh, so I'm just going to get that yellow and dull it down. Leave some of it. It's like golden locks. I like the fact that that sort of blends out to nothing, yet this side you've got some clarity on what's going on. If there's any hard lines you think distract your eye, you can mist them up. You can even do splashes if you want, so let's try some splashes, just to make it look even more natural. Try and avoid splashing right in the middle. I usually do it on the edges. I usually splash the colours in the areas, so that pinky colour up here, we could splash them there. And if they look a bit too spotty, you can just splash some water. If there's any big ones that look odd, just get your tissue and take them away. So I decided it'd be best to do some sort of suggestions of a body. I'm just finishing off with some rigger brush highlights on the body, and I think that's pretty much it.